Let me ask you a question. Forget about whether you're for Donald Trump or Hillary Clinton. Let me just ask you a question. As a human being, if either one of your candidates were to make a simple mistake, like, oh, I forgot about national security and I used my handheld device for a few emails here and there, would you be forgiving or would you want to nail them? Forget about whose side you're on or which candidate it was. Just objectively, be honest with yourself. How much slack would you cut this person, not knowing if it's Donald Trump or Hillary Clinton, okay? Now let's take a next step further. What if this person had several thousand emails? And let's just cut to the chase. Let's say they had 30, 40, 50,000 emails or whatever it is. And said, oh, I accidentally used my handheld. And I disclosed everything. And later on, they said, no, I didn't disclose everything. A few more, and a few more, and a few thousand more, tens of thousands more. And it goes on and on like that. And finally, it arrives to the point today where they're now saying in the Washington Times, I'll show you in a moment, that there was 13 different private handheld devices. It wasn't just a matter of Hillary Clinton forgetting one time and accidentally doing this national security, risking the leaks and all that stuff on one handheld device, but it was 13 different ones, and they're finding several different computers. It was a whole barrage of different handheld devices and computers to avoid national security laws or to try to do it without getting caught. Here, let's take a look here. I'm going to go now. Look online, the Washington Times, the article from, let me see, what's the date here? Here it is, September 7th, that was yesterday. The FBI's once secret report on the Secretary of State Clinton's email. Let me just scroll right to the bottom to finish this up because I know you got better things to do than to hear this whole article. You can look at it at WashingtonTimes.com. But it says, it's just incredible. Foreign hackers. Okay, remember when they were saying, oh yeah, well, yeah, it could have been a foreign hacker, could have gotten in. Yeah, oops, my bad, I was on my one cell phone device. But no harm, no damage, no foul, because, didn't get out. Well, now they're finding out that they call them hostile foreign actors, actors in the field of espionage. Why does everything sound like a movie? They're saying, however, the FBI did conclude that Mrs. Clinton sent emails to people with computer systems that were penetrated by foreign hackers. Quote, the FBI did find that hostile foreign actors gained access to the personal email accounts of individuals with whom Clinton was in regular contact with, and in doing so, obtained emails sent to or received by Clinton on her personal account, unquote, the report said. And it goes on and on. It says she used 13 handheld devices and several, not one or two, several non-governmental computer servers, along with her non-governmental Blackberries and other devices. I'm not really a tech person. I don't remember how I use this silly old thing. I'm such a ditz. She even used the word ditz, self-deprecating humor, thinking that would get her off. Listen, it's not an accident. We use several non-government computers, 13 handheld devices. What if Donald Trump had done this? What if Donald Trump did this and gave it to Russia and China and North Korea and all the data gets out? What if Donald Trump had a slush fund where he, like the Clinton Initiative, and he called it the Trump Initiative, and he had billions of dollars laundered into his campaign coffers, while he was sitting Secretary of State or President, he would be in jail right now. But the media keeps giving Hillary Clinton a pass. Why do they do that? Where's our outrage on this? Come on, give me a break. The U.S. media is like the old Pravda in the Soviet Union. They only had one propaganda source, right? One main one. So people knew it was propaganda. But we have thousands. It's called politically correct speaking. If the New York Times says something and the others copy it, people are afraid to buck the trend because they get ostracized from their peers. All the media, journalism peers ostracize you. But they're afraid of that. That's their career on the line. So that's why this thing keeps on being whitewashed. Oh, speaking of whitewashing, she uses this bleach software supposedly a low-tech person, Hillary. She uses this bleach or whatever they call the erasing thing, make you sure you erase it 16 million times over and over again or whatever to make sure nobody can ever get the data. This was intentional on Hillary Clinton's part. How could she claim it's an accident? So if you're a fan of Hillary Clinton right now, how do you sleep at night? How do you defend that? You just justify it that the world will end if Donald Trump gets in there, that he'll have his finger on the nuclear trigger. I understand if you're concerned about that he's a loose cannon, etc., and you're willing to say, we are willing to take that criminal behavior of Hillary Clinton, where she deserves to be in jail for life for what she did as a traitor, spy, etc. I can understand if you think that you have to go along with criminal activity to avoid Donald Trump, but at least admit it. Admit that you're willing to support somebody who's a total criminal and that you are an accomplice by supporting her and voting for her. Look, I didn't like Donald Trump for a long time. He's certainly better than Hillary in every regard. Is he an egomaniac? Yes. Does he act like a jerk? Yes. Has he said a lot of things he's regretted? Yes. Has he said a lot of things he hasn't regretted but he should regret? Yes. Will he regret them later? Maybe. But let me tell you something. Ronald Reagan, when he's a young man, was a Democrat, liberal, etc. He got older and wiser. Donald Trump's made too much money to be a liberal. He's an entrepreneur. He's a capitalist. So, again, I'll end the video with this. If you didn't know who the candidate was, Donald Trump or Hillary Clinton, who had all this stuff happening to them, would you say it's right or would you say it's wrong? Would you go along with this or not? And the final question is, at what point does something have to get so bad with Hillary that you wouldn't support her anymore? I mean, if she literally on videotape took an axe and cut off the head of every member of Congress live, would you still support her? If she would take her finger on the nuclear button, if Obama would say, here, you're going to be president anyway, I'll give it to you. And she would take it and put her finger down there and blow up, Ireland or New Zealand, would he still support her? That's the question. At what point do you stop supporting Hillary Clinton? At what point? You have to look yourself in the mirror and say, enough is enough. I can't support this woman anymore. Because by you supporting her, you're an accomplice to her evil deeds. I think she's a sociopath, psychopath, whatever you call it. I'm not the psychology expert here, but I'm telling you, something is wrong with that puppy. She is a pathological liar. She is a criminal. She shouldn't wear that environmental green jumpsuit or pantsuit, whatever you call it. She should be wearing an orange jumpsuit.